All right, Jamie, here we are to talk about mistakes that can be made when opening an offshore bank account in Switzerland. So I think maybe you can start off with one of the mistakes that you see and why people kind of get into that trap.
Yeah, sure. I think the first one that comes to mind is just not having researched it enough before reaching out. So there are certain things that are required, like there's minimum investment volumes, typically depending on the bank between 500,000 and $1 million. The fees are typically displayed online as well. So we just sometimes get people who are not able or willing to move that kind of money overseas, and then get frustrated if they just spend an hour talking to me, and then after an hour they realize that those minimum investment volumes exist. So I think just being aware of what is needed to take this step is probably one mistake that can be fairly easily avoided.
Yeah, I think that's really good, and I think it kind of leads into the next one of what might come before or in the process of why do you want to move offshore? What are the reasons? Have you really thought about it? Like, is it you're just unhappy with things in the US, you're unhappy with your financial advisor, that could be maybe what starts it, or you're not sure what direction the country is going and you're not sure how to do it, but really having a good understanding of, okay, what is investing overseas, or at least thinking about what it might mean and why do you want to do it? Is it for I got a question that about an obscure currency, and the person believed that it was gonna 10x against the US dollar. If you took 10 minutes to look at it, just basically you knew, okay, that's probably not a reality. So is it a get rich quick scheme that maybe incited it, or is it more of the thought process behind it of, hey, I need some diversification, I want some stability, I've thought about what potential offshore options might be and I want to know more, really understanding what is the purpose or why you're even motivated to do it. Are you moving outside of the US? Are you staying in the US but you have connections and want to travel? I mean, there's lots of things that can start that thought, but understanding or trying to think past the momentary thought to, okay, what's the plan for this, so that you can go into even researching from a base of understanding of why might be, or why are those motivations where they might be.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, I think, leads into another point of wanting to move overseas and then just go with the very first person you met or see, who might not necessarily be an expert in working with US clients, because having a US connection, be it a passport, residency, green card, whatever it may be, you want to work with someone who understands US rules and regulations, and you don't just want to go with someone who's nice and friendly and might be very well equipped to work with domestic clients. You really want to go with a company that understands all the aspects and complexities that come with cross-border wealth management.
Absolutely. And we might be the first contact in this video of seeing that, and you should talk to us. No. but in reality, yeah, doing your research, looking at the field outside of even where you're starting and seeing what makes the right partner. And even if it means talking to a few different people at the end, a journey offshore is just that. It is a journey. There's a lot of things that you have to learn, a lot of understanding that has to be done in what kind of investments are happening, what is the outlook for it, and do the people fit right? And how do you understand the culture of where they're coming from? Do they know your culture? Like you said, have they been doing it for a long time? Is this a new thing? These are all things that absolutely play into it.
And I think as a US person, one thing that you always have to think about is taxes. For better or worse, you will have to think about the tax aspect of things. So if you are thinking about moving overseas, moving money overseas, just make sure that you have a financial planner and or a tax attorney or CPA, or just someone who can guide you through the tech side of things as well. We have a very good network of people who offer complementary services to us. So if you don't have a person like that, we're happy to give out a few names, because we don't do any tax advice ourselves, but we know how important it is to do all the taxes and the tax reporting correct.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jamie.